Hi there, this is Rebecca Stark, and I am just popping in to get a video done quickly this evening, and I'm trying something new. we'll see how it works. I can't wear my glasses because I have a ring light on, and there's just a little too much reflection coming off of the glasses. So forgive me if I'm squinting while I read my Bible verses to you, but I am coming in for another series of my Do Not Fear, my DNF videos. And DNF, in these videos, all I aim to do is to find all the places where the Bible says, do not fear. And whether the Bible is saying it outright or there's more of an implication, I'm just looking for them. I've heard 365, the Bible says it 365 times, do not fear. I haven't found all the verses, but I'm not done, right? I think this is maybe video number 23 or 24, so definitely have not scratched the surface in all the places where the Bible says, do not fear. So today we are going back to the Old Testament. We're in the book of Isaiah, and there's a chapter in Isaiah that I love. So I know my last video we did an entire psalm in Psalm 136. It's beautiful. I love it. If you haven't had a chance, go back and read Psalm 136. It's so rich, and there's a lot there, and there's 26 verses of beauty. In the book of Isaiah, the chapter 43 is also just so rich, and there's so much there. And no, I'm not going to read through every verse. In fact, I'm probably going to pull up a few of these verses along the way, because this chapter really does delve into the reassurance that God is with you. Don't be afraid. God's saying, I've got this. So we're right at the beginning. I'm going to start with Isaiah 43 verse 2. When you face troubles, I will be with you. You will cross deep waters, and you won't drown. You will walk through fire, and you won't burn. Yeah, it doesn't outright say, do not be afraid. But when you face troubles, you won't be alone. God will be with you. You can cross through deep waters, and you won't drown. You can walk through the fire, and you won't burn. Those are some rich promises. And that's a lot of, hey, tackle these fears. You can head off and do some difficult things, and God will be with you. So that's pretty awesome, and an amazing thought to have with you as you make your way through life. So sorry, this is, come here. Here we go. Come on. There you go. I've even had people outright say, oh, that I saw that video, the one where your cat was in it. So here he is, and he's trying to decide how cuddly he's going to be. Tiger gets into aggressive cuddle mode, is what we like to call it, and he's just a little ornery and doesn't like to settle down. We'll see. I'll sit back and we'll chat a little bit. So Isaiah 43, and specifically 43:2, where we talk about facing troubles and not being alone, and some of the troubles that we face. So I like to go through and find some challenges, find some times where you say, oh, yikes, this is really scary, but I'm going to do it anyways. So I had talked a little while ago about facing other people's fears, and yes, how difficult it is when you have somebody else's fear, and you're sitting with them when they're in a place of fear, and you're just trying to encourage them, like, hey, just take that leap. It's going to be okay. So my husband, whom I love, and he's a really wonderful man, and God really did bring us together. he was sitting with the decision of whether or not to go back to school and get his MBA. And it was a really difficult decision. So we've been praying, we've been thinking about it, and just trying to make the decision of what do we do. And he finally made the decision and said, yes, I'm going to take the leap. So we're in that place. I don't have the resolution, right? So normally when we have something that we're going through, it always helps, like, oh, hey, here's something that I struggled with, and here's how I struggled with it, and here's how it ended, and we came out the other side and everything's okay. And I don't have that for you right now, because we're still new, and this is a very this is a new change, and it's a scary time, and we're sitting here and we're just kind of fretting of, like, how we're going to make this work. I mean, you know, my husband's going to be in school, and that's going to be taking up time, and I've got to take my son to school, and that's going to be taking up time, and how are we going to make this all work? So we still listen to sorry, sweet little boy here just decided to give me a little love bite there. We still listen to Jim Dixon's sermons. So if it's anything of interest to you whatsoever, look up sermons by Jim Dixon. Jim Dixon was the senior pastor at Cherry Hills Community Church. Jim Dixon is the pastor who aimed to memorize the verses that he would share in his sermons, and he's the one who would read Bible verses out of, this is my Bible, the RSV, you know, and that was kind of a fun little story of how I happen to have an RSV Bible. That's the version that Jim Dixon memorized. So we were listening to Jim Dixon give one of his sermons, and he said, people don't want to hear about your successes. We all have successes, great stories. He said people want to hear about your failures, because I think that's more human when we share about where we've failed and where we've made mistakes. So I don't have an answer one way or another. We just made the decision, and my husband's going to go back, and he's going to go back to school, and he's going to keep on working, and I'm going to keep on doing the things I'm doing, and we'll see how it goes. So really, we're not in the end is a success or the end is a failure or anything. You know, I kind of call this is the messy part, where it's life, and we'll see. We've got to work. We've got to put one foot in front of the other. But this verse reminds me, we can walk through the deep water and we won't drown. So we're taking faithful steps, yes, into the deep water, and trusting that, God, if this is where you want us to go, you will give us the tools, you'll give us the resources, you'll give us whatever it is that's going to help us to take these next steps and move forward in faith. We'll walk through the fire. So we're taking that step and going through the fire and trusting God that we won't drown. So we'll see. Stay tuned. maybe Tigger will come back and join us again too. So thank you for joining. Thank you for keeping us in your prayers. You can keep Bryson in your prayers, but more than that, I just want to keep encouraging you to pray for the survivors of the Hill Country floods, those whose families were disrupted, homes were disrupted, lives were disrupted. We just ask that you keep all of us in your prayers, and thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.